Good morning, Internet, and welcome back to the Chaotic Committee. It is one of my absolute favorite points in this game. Once you cross that threshold and you move from what I consider to be the early game to the mid game. And mid game is, basically non-stop metal refining with no worries about how you're going to power it, or not much in the way of worries of how you're going to power it. Stable food, stable dupes, stable base. So at the end of the last episode, I was just getting this started. As you can see, I've gone a bit nuts. And I absolutely love making that transition. So we'll go over a bit of what this setup is. We're still working on building it. So I moved these, put in natural gas generators. I had a bunch over here powering stuff. So now I have a proper power grid. I love this battery stack off the rockets. That's about the maximum size you can make the rockets now, which is why there's a platform and then another stack going in. It also means that I can use gold amalgam to build this stack and not have to use my heavy watt conductive wire. So I don't have to use refined metal for this. I get this nice stack I can tap power off of, and away you go. Love it. In terms of, this is doing something weird. My copper is appearing behind the volcano. I thought a save and reload would fix it. It hasn't. So yeah, the copper's coming out of here. It appears behind the volcano. I don't think that's happening over here. Yes, it is. The cobalt's behind the volcano as well. Not sure if that's part of the update or who knows. As soon as I made some steel aqua tuner. As soon as I made some more steel, thermal regulator. As soon as I made more steel, conveyor loader. So this should be deep freeze? Yep, we're up to deep freeze. So we now have a nice cold storage room. I mean, it's leaking some cold into here. I'm not that worried about it. I put shipping in here. I'm not sure about it. There's a little blob of oil that stops the hydrogen in here from coming out. So I thought I'd try hydrogen. We'll see what happens. But now that we got, battery stack is done. Now that the battery stack is done, I can start making nice stuff for my dupes. And, wrong button. And can I put that there? I can. Perfect. And then you just tie these together, and boom. Fancy, you are just about done. I want a higher priority on that. And then the steam turbines will feed into the battery stack. Right now, the steam turbines are only feeding the aqua tuner and the thermal regulator. And one annoying thing is the gantries, they have to be made out of steel. You can't make them out of anything else. But I definitely wanted a couple of crossover points for the batteries, so I figured it was worth a bit of steel for that. Okay. There we go. So now these steam turbines feed directly onto this power cable. That doesn't need to be a different piece of metal. So they help top off the battery. And then these each have different settings to also top off the battery by feeding these generators into transformers. Those transformers will try to top off the battery stack. So the battery stack should essentially never empty. This I'm still emptying the material out of, but this little transformer is doing the same thing. You just need a small wire for it. Yeah, as soon as that's done, then I can start cleaning up the power grid. I haven't been back over to the other base to get more oil. We just used what we had. Made as much plastic as I could. I think I have enough for one more turbine. Oh, a couple more. Okay. So far, these are keeping up. I mean, I am making as much steel as I can, so it's as hard as these things are ever going to work. Play around with some priorities. Yeah, let me queue up some more transformers, then we can get the living area for the dupes set up. Oh, that's done. One thing I think I'm gonna do is, this is down to 45,000 germs. I think in the last episode, these tanks were clean. So I think what I'm going to do is take the water from these tanks, use that to feed the bathrooms. I'm definitely going to have it feed the soda fountains. I don't know, I'll have to think about that, but right now I need some transformers and some power. I also really enjoy the part where we get to start cleaning up the power grid. That just makes me feel better. 7. Hopefully it's reachable. I didn't really check on that. Yeah, Turner's got it. Maybe. I'll take some free glass. And I'm probably just about at the point now that I can store all the food I want, where I can start hiring a couple more dupes. We've got some food. I haven't seen any sleet wheat yet around here, so I can't do berry sludge. Darn. And here come the top batteries filling up, which just sucks these batteries down, and those turn on. Natural gas, yeah, I turned on both pumps, but we've got 21 cycles. So we've got 110 kilograms of natural gas, and I didn't pay attention to when this went dormant. And there's another kilogram in here I could suck up if necessary. But really, this is the big job of filling all these up. Once those are all full, then the draw on the natural gas will be much, much lower. Interesting. It's not just... yeah, it was just picking up granite that was also behind the volcano. So, yeah, some debris just appears behind metal volcanoes. Not sure how that is. You're not getting down far enough? What are you set to? 165. Yeah, I might need a third steam turbine in here. Yeah, it's gonna toss me over power. Oh, that's what I'll do. So where does that appear? There. I'll hook this steam turbine directly to the aquatuner. There we go, third steam turbine is up and running. Generally it's the aquatuner and the thermoregulator that are going to be working the hardest, so having this one recycle power onto that, I'm not too worried about it not going into the batteries. I mean, in one sense it keeps it from being drawn from the batteries. But now we're going to dump 6 kilos of water per second into here, which should help cool this down. Oh, transformers are getting there. Yeah, that's worked out. The copper's already 100 degrees cooler. Or not 100, 10 degrees cooler. So pretty soon the copper will kick out and that will all catch up. Alright, there we go. You. Yep, and then you will power the suit docks and some other stuff up here. I just gotta figure out what's drawing the various amounts of power and just put the wires back in the right places. Why are you not... Oh, because I didn't connect it down here. We'll get there. There we go. Yeah, you don't have any power users yet, and that's fine. Yeah. Now we can finally start using the carbon dioxide, and Duke's morale will go through the freaking roof. And my decorator, now that I'm getting all this gold from the gold volcanoes, I've just been making a bunch of statues out of gold for no good reason other than they're pretty. What do you do? How did meat get in there? There was no... How did meat get in there? I am so confused. There was not a critter in there when I built that. There is absolutely no way for me to get that out. There's 99 kilos of natural gas in there. Hopefully that doesn't cause a mess. I decided I'm not going to use the hot polluted oxygen vent. Maybe I'll change my mind later. I just don't feel like dealing with it right now. Alright, and extend the cooling loop. Because somebody decided to run the hot material out of that vent through these transformers. So we gotta get them cooled down. This whole cooling is this one aqua tuner. You know, it was that gold amalgam one down here. I then moved. So now we are on to cleaning up the grid. Let's hook you to you. Disconnect you. And with that, it says there's a lot of power, but there really isn't. We can get rid of that, that. And automation. Okay, then I gotta run another wire up for the research. God, this wire I just want to clean up. I just want to do that with it. I have been finding a lot of Hexcellent fruit. And that stuff doesn't go bad, so I think I'm going to keep grabbing that and use that for rocket missions. I think that's a decent enough idea. Yeah, and this active cooling around there, yeah, worked out amazing. Alright, that section is done. This section I can just plug straight into here. And it says its potential load is high, but a lot of that is not really active stuff. It's all intermittent stuff. Alright, as soon as they do that, I can clean up this bit. So I hope trying to think about what I'm going to say, then say it. Hope you don't mind having a bit of a cleanup episode. I really do enjoy this part of the game, of switching over from that early game, throw everything at the world, get through what the next crisis is, to the let's organize it, let's get stuff to where I want it, and then it makes it so much easier to push onto the other bases and settle them. So you just got to take that time in the game to be done with it. No, plumbing. And then you just feel better later when you're trying to do other things that all your previous emergency setups are out of the way. Oh, that's done. Alright, I think this is my last thing here, and all it's running is that gas pump, which means I can probably fit it on this power wire. Next up, we'll be cleaning up all the gas piping, because... yeah, that got a little crazy. Ooh, uh-oh, we are backing up the carbon dioxide, because you contain... I can replace that with a high-pressure gas vent. I have that vent there because any polluted oxygen coming out of it this deodorizer eats. But I guess if regular oxygen comes out, then it gets screwed up. I'm glad I caught that before all my generators backed up. Yes, I think a bit of regular oxygen got in there. There, and you can see the deodorizer eating the polluted oxygen right away. And now all my gas should automatically reverse on these pipes. Come on, one more. There it is. Oh, you're done. You can now pick up refined metal. I specifically told it not to grab the cobalt until I got everything else out of there. When I first sealed it in, there was a whole bunch of organics. Polluted mud, polluted oxygen, not polluted mud, polluted dirt, slime, that type of stuff that I had to get out first. So I was like, the refined metal can be last. Yeah, that will all come down in temperature quick. What are you down to? Well, let's just set you to 175. That seems to be where it wants to settle, and I'm fine with it. Oh, I'm like, why isn't the carbon dioxide available? Because this pump is off. Oh, yeah, it's probably fleeing time. What do I want to do with the pinch row eggs? They need to go someplace where these guys won't see them. You know what? I think down in there is fine. Now, I can occasionally wrangle one and put it back up here, but otherwise just stick them in a hole. You sweep only critter egg pinch row. There we go. And I have triage cards so we can fix people. Alright, I feel much better. How much hydrogen do I have? 300 kilograms. So I could even put in a couple of hydrogen generators for backup. These are generating polluted water. My water is coming down. So that means it is time to start loading this up. Oh good, they finished it. I also had enough plastic for a wall toilet. So we need water. Not sure if it needs to be insulated past there. We'll find out if this is a mistake. Oh, and I need power for research. So you're used. How are you doing on power? Your potential load is high. Yeah, you've got the pumps on you, so I don't want to mess with that. Well, looks like I need one more transformer and we'll just go around. Oh, they can reach that once this is built. They can hop up. What do you mean they can't reach that? Yeah, we're kicking out all the cobalt. Nice. And research power. Done. Yeah, those guys will bring in some Hexlin fruit. I grabbed wherever they are. All my puffs that have been producing oxalite. There used to be a lot more stored in there, and as you can see, there's hardly any. It's all sitting in that rocket. Yeah, we'll get the research stuff powered back up. We'll get some water into the rocket, and we can send some dupes back over to set up a base. Alright, these are doing something funky. Do these not... Did that last update break these? Hold on, I've got to look into the Rad Bolt. There was another mid-game update. If they're disabled by the automation grid, if that turns off their power, that would be really bad. And... I was thinking about getting a doctor, but I don't really need one right now. I think the next base, I might need one. Okay, let's do this. Pause it. Disconnect those from there. Disconnect those from there. There. No power. Automation says no. And now my dupes can come in here so they can start to fertilize those, but that's not that big of a deal. There. Now you have power. Now you have automation. What? Oh, if they change that, that's horrible. The whole point of the automation is to control when they shoot. They should keep... Oh, alright, let's take off one automation wire and see if that's it. Well, that's just annoying. I don't want automation to turn off the power to the building. I want automation to control when they shoot. Hopefully they fix that. Maybe I just gotta reload. Applied science? Yeah, we got a bit more research to do. I mean, what's the point of this? What's the point of that output? Because it sends a... I guess you just gotta leave them on? Okay, that's just annoying. So I think they changed these. I saw it in the comments that These now will stop using as much power once they're full because they fill up at like 500 rad bolts. It's as much as they can store. So hold on, let me just do this. The problem with that is that means that they won't store rad bolts when this is full. If I'm thinking about this correctly. Okay, so this outputs a red because it's not full, goes through the NOT gate, turns these on, and I guess we'll see what happens. What are these absorbing? 900 and 800. Good. Oh, there's my water. So I still have this running through a valve that limits its flow. But, I mean, that's fine. It'll just take a little bit of time to fill up. And as you can see, we've already got plenty of water coming through. How much Huxland fruit did we end up with? 36,000. So what is that? 18 cycles? We'll bring over some other food as well. Well, looking at the amount of natural gas I've got, we're gonna need a solar stack. There's no two ways about it. We're down to 77, and that's not active for another 14. Well, solar stack it is. I am looking in the wrong place. Question is, do I want two? I mean, why not? We just need to get a little bit creative with how we get that in. So if we do that. And cancel that. All right, I think that'll work. I might have to rebuild my glass plant. And behold, solar stack. And I think I've figured out that you have to have the battery down here. In order to get power in and out of the stack, you need a battery. No, these can be... Yeah, those can be 7. Screw it, let's see what happens. And you can see a little bit of food poisoning coming into that first one, and then it all just dies off. For those of you who are kind of curious as to how this is cleaning, it's a math thing, where this number of food poisoning is not the amount of food poisoning in each kilogram of water. This is the amount of food poisoning in all 5,000 kilograms. So when one 10 kilogram packet comes out, it takes 1/500th the amount of food poisoning with it. So you're divided by 500, divided by 500, so by the time you get to the last tank, there's hardly any anyway. And then it's sitting here, we'll kill it. And same thing coming out of this tank. It will take one 10 kilogram packet divided by the amount of water that the pump can reach. So in this configuration, I think the pump only pulls from these 3 tiles, but in those 3 tiles is 45,000 kilograms. So you take 45,000 kilograms, take 10 kilograms out, and you can imagine that not a whole lot of food poisoning's coming with it. Maybe it's an exploit, but it works. Oh, and our water's backed up, and we've got some solar, and solar's doing good here. I think that is the last... No, we got a little bit more power wire to go. Oh, come on. Come on! You're so close. There it is, right? Yeah, because those are all going to top off because they're connected into everything. Yep, that's the maximum height. Well, I think we will call that good. Looking at the time, I was hoping to get the rocket launch off, but I think getting the power grid just all nice and cleaned up, a couple of battery stacks and solar stacks. Now this base is proper mid to late game, and I can really focus on settling other planets. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the content. Yeah, this one was a bit of a cleanup episode, but it just looks so much better to me. So, we will see you next time, and we'll be ready to launch the rocket.